Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody else who happens to be watching right now. My name's Jimmy Del Ponte, and my show is called Seriously Somerville, here on Somerville City Cable. At the beginning of my song, it says, just like Leno, I've got my own desk. I don't even think they're trying to get me a desk anymore, but right now, they gave me a podium. But you know what? I'm not going to have... I can't use a podium and have guests on my show. I don't understand why it's so hard to get a guy a desk. You know, I'm going to have... I guess I'll have to go to Jordan's Furniture or Bernie and Phil's and get my own. I don't know. Not that I'm complaining. I love doing the show and everything, but thank you for getting me the podium, but I'm not going to use it. Last month they got me a little kid's desk. I don't know if they're just, you know, playing with me or... Anyway, let's make the most of it, all right? Hey, you know, don't look at the glasses half full. Look at it as half empty, all right?
Del Ponte.
Jimmy, that is.
Whoa.
Hey, how you doing?
On TV. Get out of here. What do you know?
I don't believe it.
They gave me my own cable show, though my face was made for radio. Just like Boomtown and Bozo and Romper Room, I hope that my show will be a success. We will talk about public affairs, sometimes I'll have a guest. Look at me on TV, just like Leno, I've got my own desk. Thank you!
Who's a dude who wasn't svelte, elected after Roosevelt?
Taft.
Right on. The 27th president, for a shirt he wore a chant.
Taft.
Can you dig it? With that mustache on his puss, he looked like a big walrus.
Taft.
He was the walrus. They say this cat Taft was a fat...
Hush your mouth.
Well, I'm talking about Taft.
He was big boned.
I can dig it. He was a simple man, but no one could out-eat him at the table.
William Howard. Taft.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Seriously Somerville. Happy New Year, everybody. Why am I talking loud? I don't know. I'm a nut. But you know that, or you wouldn't have tuned in. Maybe you just left your TV on and look who's on. Jimmy Del Ponte. I have a special guest with me today. He's a friend. He's a politician. He's just a great guy. He's a guy you've probably seen around for many years. He's Alderman At-Large Jack Connolly.
Thank you. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing great, and thank you for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Well, we have a lot of questions. We could start anywhere, but 11 terms as alderman. Is that true?
That's
11?
right. 1984, I was first elected to the Board of Aldermen from Ward 6, and I spent 11 straight terms as the Ward 6 alderman, and through 2005, and then I had a little sabbatical when I lost that election by about 100 votes.
100 votes.
100 votes. It's what happens. Nobody bats 1,000, Jim.
No, but and that was just a time that people just didn't get out for some reason or another, right?
Well, that's what happens in elections. Some people figured out things were okay, everything was fine. Oh, you don't have to worry. People that when you ask them, oh, don't worry, we'll go out and, you know, instead of 6 votes in a household, only 1 came out because, oh, don't worry, Jack's all said he's been here forever, and that was sort of the prevailing thinking. The lethargy, no matter how many times you remind somebody, it's just human nature. But fortunately, it's worked out well because after a little short hiatus, I had a little sabbatical. The Alderman At-Large seat opened up, and that went citywide for the first time, and obviously people paid attention that those 11 terms obviously were worth something in a lot of people's minds because we had a little bit of a comeback that's worked out well, and so as a result, I'm finishing up the second year of the fully elected term that we had. So it's been working out really well.
See, I used to think that Alderman At-Large meant you had to be of large girth, but of course you're not. You're because you do a lot of running.
We're doing everything to dispel that myth, and literally that was one great way as a Ward 6 guy when I'd go out for my daily run. Instead of driving around, I'd run because a lot more. You see an awful lot more. You can see a cracked sidewalk, you can see a light out, you could see a problem on the street. And even now, if I go out and do a workout, depending on which way I go, I may notice that there are particular problems. It's something you see, and it's easy to make note of. And now with email and texting and all this, it's even easier to let people know about a problem. So it's worked out well, and it's a good way out. Shape up Somerville.
Vote for me! Vote for me! It's me, Jack!
I'm literally running for office,
Running
Jim.
for office,
That's
yeah.
right. You know what? And people see you out and about, and they see you out in a 10-degree day like today, and that, and they think, well, geez, he's been doing it in the hot and doing it in the cold. And as I approach the 6-0 mark, I like to think that I can be excited about keeping active, and maybe I can't run as fast, but I can still do it.
Now, today, folks, you know, we do tape the show in case, you know, there's anything incriminating, we can cut it out. But you ran today. Today, it's 8 degrees outside right now. This is that coldest day of the year. Did you run today?
I haven't gone yet, but I will.
You are going out running?
Yeah, absolutely, today, sure. Do about 3.1 miles. I got a nice little loop that I do that if you dress properly in the first 7 or 8 minutes, it's all you need to do is have the hat and the gloves and with the right gear. And you really, believe it or not, you really warm up, and that you don't want to stand around outside in the cold when you're done, but I can just change, go out. I can do that in about a little under half an hour.
Wow, that's great.
It's a good way of, like I say, sometimes the only thing you feel you do right all day, Jim. Put one foot in front of the other.
Well, I'm usually running away from bill collectors. This is kind of a different situation. And ex-girlfriends. Is this your kid? He looks just like you. No, maybe it was David Cassidy's kid. Get out of here. Because I used to be the David Cassidy of Somerville. Anyway, I'd like to talk about your girls. You have 3 girls.
3 daughters. Carrie's 24, Kim is 21, and Carolyn is now 17. And very proud of what they've been able to accomplish. Carrie and Kim and Carolyn all through the Somerville schools. Carrie and Kim graduated from the high school. Carolyn is graduating this year from Arlington Catholic, where she transferred to as a freshman. But Carrie and Kim graduated, Carrie in 02. Kim in 05, and Carrie graduated from Cornell. Kim is about to graduate from Siena College in Albany this year, and Carolyn is trying to make a decision where she wants
Cornell?
to go. Cornell University, yes. Somerville High prepared her
Oh,
for an Ivy League school where she did well. Lived in London. She lived in Italy for 6 months as part of her experience there, and absolutely had a wonderful experience out there.
Tell us briefly about the Discovery Channel connection.
Carrie actually is very interested in media, and she worked for a production company that actually went out and did the storm chases taping for all the storms that you now see currently. I think this is their 3rd or 4th season, but Carrie was a production assistant and actually drove in the vehicle right behind the torpedo intercept vehicle, as they call it, the TIV. That's that kind of clamshell-like device with all the antennas on it that is supposed to be able to withstand the impact of a tornado, and that so she spent April through this past June traveling out through the Midwest 7 days a week, chasing tornadoes and storms, and ran into some, as you would say, terrifyingly awesome experiences.
So you're the worried dad, the concerned dad, the devoted politician, husband, of course, and you run a business.
I have my own insurance agency in Davis Square, which actually works out well because there's so many times people will stop by, oh, can I just chat with you about something? You can do it. So, and since I live so close by, I can, if I go in at 8 o'clock, I can hang around till 6 o'clock, or if there's no meeting, I have the time to spend. I go in on Saturday morning, so it's a great place so people can come by. A lot of people go into the square for whatever reason. It's easy to meet. So it's worked out very well.
Your spot, which is right basically before the red line entrance.
20 steps from the entrance on College Ave, Jim.
20
That's right.
steps. And you always have the window. You have a theme going on in the window, which is very entertaining. I know that my kid had, my Jimmy lent you some bobbleheads. What's the theme right now?
Valentine's Day, obviously. You know. And
cool.
We have 4 wonderful women that work in the office with me, and that we're always trying to come up with something. For a while, you know, naturally during the baseball season, we get the Red Sox stuff out there. We try and come up with something. Actually, the various holiday seasons and Thanksgiving and Christmas, we do a kind of a nostalgic Christmas thing that's kind of a lot of fun. But a lot of people stop in and talk about it. We do music. One year we did the music stuff where we had all the old albums, LPs, CDs, and cassettes. A lot of people wanted to come in and buy it. I had an album.
We should talk about that maybe. Have a little business on the side. How about